I'm gonna pour a little coffee.
Oh yeah, make it happen.
Do that.
Yeah, do it.
Remind me, I gotta go buy coffee tomorrow.
Yeah, me too. Oh my god, I'm out here as well. I went and got an espresso this morning though, so after the doctor's appointment. All right, Lucy, I'm gonna count us in. Otherwise, you good? Okay. There's the coffee that's pouring down. All right. Okay.
Now I'm good.
Fantastic. All right, I'm counting us in, everybody. Here we go. Actually, let's fade to black as I'm doing that. Starting in 5, 4, 3.
Yummy like a gummy bear.
Uh-oh. We're good. It's the internet. You're busy. Welcome, Jeff Grubb. My document actually is frozen for some reason, so that's a good sign. And I don't actually have it memorized, Lucy James. So hello, Lucy James.
Are you joking? Wait, do you want me to do it?
Yeah, you do it. You go. I would love that. Introduce the show.
Okay. It's the internet. You're busy. Let's do this for... You have not updated this in 2 weeks. December 13th, 2023. For the next hour or so, let me help you sort through the world of gaming on Game Mess Mornings Live with me, Jeff Grubb. Today, we take a look at how games sold in November and a new Zelda game is on PC. But first, please join me in welcoming today's co-host of Game Mess Mornings. It's Lucy James.
Lucy James, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
That was fantastic. I'm doing great. My edge is still frozen here, so that's great. You know what? I'm just going to close that and restart it here. All of Windows is behaving weirdly. My toolbar down here is flashing at me. Windows doesn't normally do that. Lucy, I made my first doctor's appointment since moving to Ohio more than a year ago, and and it was a new doctor. I'm not thrilled with the experience. It was, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. It was a bad doctor. It's not a good doctor.
Okay. Why? What do you?
Because I'm like, here are my problems, and he's like, well, here are statistics about Americans. I'm like, okay, well, what about me? And then like we never really talked about anything like specific about me. It was like, oh, I know facts about that. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't. Yeah, 4 and 5 Americans. What does that have to do with anything? Yeah. I just need help, homie. It was actually infuriating. I do feel like I, in general, have pretty bad luck with medical professionals. And I'm like, it's time to just get into holistic medicine. I need to just get into my like spiritual medicine era. It's time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily promote that, but yeah, maybe you need to find a different doctor.
I'm gonna have to like just ask around. You know what? Mike Minotti's dad's a doctor. I should just ask him if I can get some of that daddy medicine. Daddy medicine.
The family discount.
Yeah, get the family discount from daddy medicine. You know what I'm talking about.
Daddy medicine. That's one of the most upsetting things you've ever said.
Yeah.
Not the most.
Oh yeah, I've said plenty.
But I got scratched this morning.
Whoa,
I can't tell my lights are on. I'm not wearing any makeup and my lights are on pretty high. But my cat was so annoying.
Oh no.
How annoying was she? At 6 a.m. this morning that I picked her up and I tried to give her a cuddle and she just went, no. So now I've got this cool scratch.
I will say it does actually look kind of cool.
Thank you.
Yes, you look tough. I would not mess with you with that scratch.
Backlar.
Yeah, listen,
it's all right.
Yeah,
I just saw him pop up. I saw him pop up as soon as the cat was mentioned. He was like,
they are just afraid of getting scratched, right? People who don't like cats, they're like, oh, this thing's actually going to hurt me. It's like, oh, come on. So you get a little cool scar. What's the big deal? Yeah, they're weak. I agree. Lucy James, you're absolutely right about that. I don't care how many times my cat bites me. He's a big boy. I'll like get down there and wrestle with him, and then he's like gets overstimulated. He's like, no, actually, now it's time to fuck you up. I'm like, fair. I get it.
I just think this was an accident, and also Jeff, you got bit by a little chihuahua the other day, so
yep.
It was not a feral dog. It was in someone's handbag.
Again, not Barley, everybody. Although Barley,
never Barley.
Barley's the sweetest little girl out there. But yeah, how are you doing otherwise? We're getting here towards the end of the year. I'm just like kind of coasting is, I think, the word. I'm just coasting towards the end of the year.
Must be nice. No, I'm kidding. I just have too much.
No responsibilities, Lucy. I'm good over here.
Someone just asked me to review you.
Oh,
shit. You got performance review time.
Never mind. I'm working really hard a little bit.
Yeah. No, it was Jeff. It's really busy still this week and everything's depressing. So that makes for a great combo. Looking out at the industry at the moment and then looking at your silly little tasks.
Yep.
You know?
Really
puts everything into perspective.
Keeps it all pretty decently into perspective. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You catching up on any like games that now that you're past the point where like, because GameSpot, Giant Bomb, Game of the Year stuff out of the way for the most part, right? Do you feel the need to like still be catching up on anything, or are you like playing what you want to play?
Playing like Dragon Gaiden.
Okay, yeah.
To kind of polish that one off. I've missed a lot of TV.
Oh yeah.
So we're doing a watch party of the Gilded Age next weekend, which is American Downton Abbey.
Oh, I'm aware. I watched the Gilded Age season 1 because I love Downton Abbey so much.
Good. Okay, so Gilded Age is one of those shows where it's like, is this good?
Yes.
I don't know, but I love it.
1,000,000% you're going to be asking yourself, like, is this good? And then you're still going to, I also love it. I think it's a bit trashy, I'm going to say. I think it's pretty trashy.
It's Regency trash, but no, yes. True Regency trash is Bridgerton.
Yes.
There's no shagging in Gilded Age, really.
No.
There's some heavy petting occasionally. But no, I've been watching that to catch up. And then, I'm going to be catching up on Bake Off. And then I have a whole plan for what I'm going to do over the break. So, I'm going to finally play Outer Wilds.
Oh, really?
I'll do my Alan Wake 2 playthrough. Because now New Game Plus is out,
See, I'm going to change the region of our Discord thing real quick. So you might drop out for a second, just because
oh, no.
It's okay. I'm going to save it, and then it's going to be for a moment. There we go. Okay. Should be a little bit better now.
Hello.
All right, cool. Let's explain what we do here. Most weekdays, Jeff Grubb, will help piece I got the doc back, by the way.
Oh, you want me to?
Yeah, sure. Go for it. Yeah.
I noticed you've got rid of the line, okay, before we get into the mess. I don't remember the last time you ever...
Yeah, I think it felt a bit repetitive, maybe. I don't know why. But, like, let's explain ourselves. It's just such an easy thing now at this point. So I just say that.
Let's explain ourselves. Most weekdays, Jeff Grubb, will help you piece your gaming life back together. That includes breaking news and maybe even some of our own original reporting. For all these topics, I'll get input from a bona fide expert who'll make me look smart. If you're watching live on Twitch, welcome. You can always listen to the show later on podcast feeds by searching for Game Mess Mornings or find the RSS feed on giantbomb.com. You can also catch the show later with chapters and timestamps on YouTube. So YouTube. Hello,
YouTube. Yeah. Thank you so much.
We've got a lot to get into, so let's get into the mess.
Let's get into the mess with the November 2023 Circana report. Yes, I wrote down MPD here, and I will probably keep doing that for quite some time, but there's Circana now. This is Matt Piscatello over there. He out on social media, writing out all the highlights from the report, including, let's see here, U.S. consumer spending on video game content and hardware accessories fell 7% when compared to a year ago to $5.9 billion. The decline was driven by a 24% drop in hardware spending and a 3% dip in content. Let's see here. Let's jump to the best-selling games. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 was number 1. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 was number 2. And then it was Hogwarts Legacy, Madden, Mario Wonder, EA Sports FC 24, Super Mario RPG, Mortal Kombat 1 at number 8, NBA 2K24, UFC 5 rounding out the top 10. Other games in the top 20 that were new this month include Naruto plus Boruto, Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections at number 12. Huh? Yes, that's a real thing. And then number 17 was Star Ocean, the Second Story R. That was new to the charts as well. But, good for it for charting at least. I wish it maybe would have performed a little bit better because I think that game looks really pretty. Year to date, Hogwarts Legacy is still number 1. Call of Duty Modern Warfare did debut at number 2, though. That's the first time I think a Call of Duty's not debuted at number 1 in quite some time. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom physical only, they don't have the digital sales, is at number 3. It did drop 1 since last month. November video game content dropped that 3% that we mentioned compared to a year ago to $4.6 billion. An 11% decline in console and portable content spending was partially offset by a 3% growth across each of the mobile, subscription, and PC cloud and non-console VR content segments. The primary driver here for the decline in the console and portable content was the comparable strength last year. God of War Ragnarok and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet launched. There was nothing really to fill in those gaps this year. So that's the big reason why you're seeing a decline year over year. And then Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 was the best-selling game of November, instantly becoming the second best-selling game of 2023 year to date. It is the 5th consecutive year that a Call of Duty title was November's bestseller. The last time it wasn't was, Red Dead Redemption 2 ranked first in November 2018.
Great game.
Yeah. Overall, it was kind of what you would expect. But that Call of Duty isn't selling as well as the more recent Call of Duty games. And that also seems to be bringing things down. But overall, the market seems pretty healthy. Any surprises here for you, Lucy James?
I guess not really. I think everyone has been riding that. I mean, obviously, we've been seeing this with layoffs, very unfortunately, but it's like, it's so weird to see things go down.
Yes.
Even if they are to be expected, even if capitalism is a scam, who's to say? It's kind of weird to see this kind of a small shrink here with regard to spending, especially when you consider what a year we've had for video games. But obviously, yeah, when you contextualize it with the fact that God of War Ragnarok was this time last year, or November last year, and Pokemon, even though Pokemon is not a game that I ever really dip into anymore, I've made peace with it. I'm never going to finish a Pokemon game.
Sure.
It's just not for me anymore. But you kind of forget how big those games are. And
yes,
so, yeah,
massive.
for PlayStation and Nintendo to have both of those heavy hitters in 1 month, yeah, of course, there's going to be a decline. I think, yeah, hardware spending as well, because wasn't this time last year, that was when like PlayStation 5 was readily available again.
Finally, yes. That's exactly right.
And then this year, I did see numbers about the Switch drop, but that's just because, like, we're
who can you sell it to?
Piss take levels now of Switch. Like, if you don't have one by now, and my nieces, who are too young to watch this and will not be watching, are getting one for Christmas, admittedly. Yeah, like, we're piss take levels with the Switch. No one's picking that up. So
yeah, and even the PS5, Xbox, those things are probably selling pretty equivalent to what they did in terms of unit, but they in terms of unit sales. But both of them saw some pretty heavy discounts in November, so less money. So it would be, and that's how they track it at Circana, is dollar sales. So that would have been a dip as well. When we look at like year to date, so yeah, November down, but you could like things move around the calendar. October was really big this year. I think a little bit bigger than last year, or at least pretty even. The industry is about even overall when it comes to counting how many things are selling in the United States. Total video game sales up 1%, which is about even. And then hardware was down 1%. And that's almost certainly mostly due to the Switch. That's probably the biggest dragging factor there, as that like continues to decline a little bit. Although Switch sales still up in Japan somehow. It's pretty wild, that actually. Let's see some of the other details here. Assisted by price promotion, Just Dance 2024 edition jumped from number 73 on the best-selling charts in October to 20th in November. Nintendo Switch was Just Dance 2024 edition's leading sales platform. Inclusion and subscription offerings helped several titles see active user count boosts. Circana started doing this where they're like, hey, here are the most played games on these platforms instead of here are the best selling games on these platforms. I think that's been cool. Yeah, it's pretty interesting just to see. But like Aliens Fireteam Elite ranked 11th in monthly active users, things like that. And Wild Hearts jumped from 501st in October to number 18. So yeah, on Steam, Lethal Company ranked second in monthly active users in November, behind only Counter-Strike 2. The title placed 115th in October. Half-Life increased from 383 in October to 20th in November, thanks to the release of Half-Life 25th anniversary update. Let's see. Sales of digital at retail products, including point-of-sales activated gift cards and digital codes on receipts, showed single-digit percentage dollar sales growth in November versus a year ago. And November video game hardware spending fell 24% when compared to a year ago to $964 million. all current generation consoles experience a double-digit percentage decline in dollar sales when compared to a year ago, with Nintendo Switch showing the sharpest drop year on year. And again, that's almost certainly due, well, not the Switch, but the other two consoles, almost certainly due to price reductions. They were readily available last year and very few discounts. This year, there's been a lot of discounts on those on the hardware for whatever reason, probably because they're being so competitive with one another.
Lexi just dropped in that like the Series X is down by $100 this holiday season.
Yes, and PS5, like not just last month, not even just October, but all throughout like the beginning, like late summer and fall, you could get that thing for $400. There was a time where I think it was $350. There was some very aggressive discounting on the PS5, and then Xbox only just recently started doing that. So yeah, you can save a lot of money if you buy that hardware right now.
Yep.
Overall, though, let's see. Here's this last one. Accessory spending increased 3% when compared to a year ago. And as always, I always try to point out, hey, accessory spending is a good like indicator for like, hey, are things still healthy overall? Because if people are buying headsets and controllers, it means they're probably planning to buy a lot more games. So growth for accessories is a pretty good sign, especially after the pandemic where people bought a ton of accessories. So if people are still buying, that's usually a pretty good sign. All right, next story here. Former Rockstar dev explains why GTA 6 PC port isn't coming at launch. This comes from Cameron Koch at GameSpot. Grand Theft Auto 6 is officially releasing on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S in 2025. But PC players will have to wait even longer, with Rockstar confirming the game won't be available on PC at launch. But why? According to a former Rockstar developer, Mike York, who worked at the studio from 2012 through 2017 on projects like GTA 7 and Red Dead Redemption 2, it simply comes down to a matter of priority. They want to prioritize what sells, York said in a recent video about the subject posted to his personal YouTube channel. Most of the time, especially in the past, PlayStation was the big seller. PlayStation was the console to have. It sold more copies than any other console for the most part. Everybody is playing PlayStation. The PlayStation version of the game then became the most important version, York said. When he worked on GTA 5 while he was at Rockstar, York said the developers spent most of their time making sure the PS3 version was the best it could be, while simultaneously working on the Xbox 360 version. The PC version is kind of the version that's in the background that is running two versions, that is running the two versions and then building them. I'm not exactly sure what he means by that. There's always a PC version of the game, but it's not polished, and it's just kind of feeding on the other games and making them work. This makes a lot of sense. Prioritization. You think Rockstar big enough that they wouldn't have to have these kinds of like, give and takes and a net negative. So it's like, well, if we put more resources in the PlayStation version, that means less resources for the PC version. But I think when you pair it up with the fact that it's never hurt them in the past to release a game a year later on PC or even 2 years later on PC, right? So why would they not just focus on what's going to make the most money right away and then have a double dip with the PC later, right?
Yeah, I was going to say double dip is the other thing that he's not really mentioning there.
Yeah.
Like, they get that extra boost. And as well, at the point you kind of lay the land. They fixed a lot of what might be broken at launch, and then they'll release it on PC. Also, PC is so much harder to configure for. Like, if they the size and scope of this game, if what the Hauser, just one Hauser, RIP. He's not dead, but he's just not at Rockstar anymore. Oh, did I vanish?
Yeah, for a second, but we got you back.
Yeah, if what Sam Hauser said is true in that press release that they released alongside the trailer, it's like, it's going to be a difficult one to put out there, and they're also going to want to make sure that it's good, and like Rockstar doesn't like putting stuff out. I mean, it has happened, but they don't like it when stuff comes out and is not to their expectation or to their level of quality.
And not only has it not hurt them in the past, I think with Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2, that lagged before it came to PC, right? There was like a year gap. I think it's helped both of those things, or at least it was like a big deal. So GTA 5 was Xbox 360 and PS3, and then the next gen consoles the year after, and then PC. So like 2 years before it came to PC or something like that. And each time they re-released that game on a new platform, it was like this big deal, and the game started selling immediately really well all over again. So it's like this 2 or 3 year long period where the game is launching, and they get a lot of benefit from that. There's a lot of attention, a lot of mind share, and yeah. So I think not only does it not hurt them, it seems to help them, and it keeps that strong momentum of having a big game launching going for years at a time. So yeah, I think when you pair that up with the fact that the PlayStation version does sell the best, and so someone in chat is like, hey, does it really sell better than the PC version? Yeah, PC like is a very big platform, but games still tend to sell better on console overall, especially these big marquee games that everyone associates like traditionally with PlayStation. The reason that's true is because they did sell better on PlayStation, and they still do. So yeah, prioritizing those, like you said, meeting their specifications, meeting their quality assurance, all that stuff, that they're able to do that more if they focus on fewer platforms. So PlayStation, Xbox out of the gate, and then here's what I expect, Lucy. I don't know, you tell me if you think this is right. A year later, we do get the PC version, right? The next holiday.
I would love that. Who knows? It's that time frame. I'm just at the point now where I'm like, 2025 seems so far away.
Yes, you got
so I'm
that's
just like,
right.
I'll get to 25, and then we'll see. But I think regardless, we'll get a PC. There's no way they'll ignore that entire platform.
Oh yeah, no way. Well, except for with Red Dead Redemption 1, which never came to PC. So weird. But yes, they won't do that with GTA.
Yeah.
Will you like double dip? Because I know you're a big PC player. I play most of my games on PC if I'm not playing on Switch. But I'll probably play GTA 6 on a console when it launches, and then I'm going to get it again on PC. Is that how you think you're going to do it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I've become a PC pivot now, baby. So yes, absolutely, I will do that.
Yes, I don't think we'll be alone. I think a lot of people will be right there with us.
Maybe I'll get into modding.
Yeah, get into modding.
Well,
I was
modding.
I don't know. Are you going to play Lethal Company with us on Friday? There's a couple of mods I think that maybe we could put in there, but because
I don't know if I can play. I will hop in, but that's
okay.
I have 7 people to review day.
Right, that's right. Okay, well maybe you could just come hang out with us.
I'll pop in. I'll hang out.
Sure, yes. But yeah, I was like, hey, I'm gonna mod that, and I was like, okay, if I can make it easy for everyone else, because everyone else would have to have the same mods for it to work, and I'm like, I'm not sure if anyone else cares about mods. I mod everything, Lucy. I just sometimes I even forget I mod things, and then I'm like, oh yeah, this is weird. I did this to this game.
Some Sims mods.
Oh yeah. What's a good Sims mod? Is it just like ease of use things that you normally use?
No, you can. There's what's it called? There's a Sims mod. So build mode in Sims 4 is kind of, you can use like a lot of good stuff to move things out of the tiles that you want. And there's one that makes that so much easier. So there's others. But I downloaded like a lot of custom content too. So.
Right. Yes, totally. Yeah, that's what I ended up doing. The Resident Evil 4 recently when I played that, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I did this. Look at Ada Wong. Oh no. All right, let's see here. Japanese publishers need Xbox, according to ex-Sony VP. This is from Alex Hopley at Game Reactor. Mina Sato Kato, former Sony VP who has since joined Xbox as the director of partnerships for Japan, is stressing that Japanese publishers need the Green Team in order to expand their business. Speaking to Bloomberg, she said the following: Japanese publishers will definitely need us in expanding their business. It would be difficult to do that just with the PlayStation. We have seen an increased interest from Xbox in a Japanese audience. Xbox Series consoles have been doing rather well in the country, even outselling the PS5 on occasion, but it's clear that Japan is still primarily a gaming market dominated by Sony and Nintendo. Okay, there's two sides of this for me, Lucy. I think that there's some truth to, if you want to grow and you're a Japanese developer, being on Xbox is a pretty good idea. I don't know if it matters. In fact, you know what? I know it doesn't matter in Japan. The times that it's outsold the PlayStation, the Xbox Series X and S, it was like because the PlayStation 5 was completely unavailable, and the Xbox sold like 10,000 units or 1,000 units, whatever it was, and the PlayStation 5 was like 500 because no one could find one. I don't think this matters for Japan, but I think in terms of a global audience, being on Xbox seems like it would be somewhat useful and would expand you to a new audience. What do you think?
I think so, especially at Summer Game Fest this year. The Xbox showcase that they had a lot of Japanese games on there. They have that kind of deal with Atlas they had P3 and P4 from earlier this year on Game Pass day one. They announced Capcom's new game on there. It's interesting. I mean, I think it's only really a good thing for the Japanese devs and publishers to be on Xbox, because Xbox will go and promote their games. Just like PlayStation will do it, but like, yeah, it makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, I think like the Sega Atlas, like Metaphor Refantasio, that one recently. The PlayStation audience probably already knows about that. It has a history with Atlas games, was probably already looking forward to that game. The idea of that game now showing up multiple times at Xbox events or showing up at the Game Awards with the Xbox button at the end, that's gonna be like, oh, the Xbox audience should care about this in a way that they maybe have traditionally not. And now Xbox is sort of teaching them, be like, hey, no, these games are important, and maybe many of them will be in Game Pass, so you should try them out. That does seem like, oh yeah, Xbox has an audience it could speak to on behalf of Japanese games. And I think if Japanese developers want to keep making console and PC games the way that they have traditionally and not like all shift over to mobile, making Xbox part of that plan does make a lot of sense, and for exactly the reason you said. I think you're probably right. All right. PC port of Zelda Link's Awakening offers HD visuals and 120 frames per second scrolling. This one's mostly for me, Lucy James. This is one of my favorite games.
I was gonna say.
This is from.
Can anyone hear that noise? Can anyone hear that noise? It's a little siren. It's a little siren. And Nintendo police is coming for you.
It is still available on itch.io. I downloaded it this morning. Who knows how long that's going to last. If you played the remake of The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening on Switch and found yourself itching to experience something just a touch more authentic to the original, then this unofficial PC port might just be what you're looking for. Available to download via itch.io and created by Link's Awakening DX HD. That's what you should search for. Link's Awakening DX HD takes the Game Boy Color version of the title and beefs it up considerably, adding in widescreen support, HD visuals, and 120 frames per second scrolling. HD visuals, what it really does is it just like zooms out. It fills up, 1080 by 1920 with the assets of the game that are already there. So it's like a really small Link running around the world, but it's actually kind of neat because you've never really seen that game that way before. Not only that, but as highlighted by Digital Foundry's John Linneman, shout out to John, you can also zoom out to get a full view of Koholint Island with every NPC and every visible and active character exactly how you would expect. That's actually pretty impressive as well. I am someone who likes the very original version of Link's Awakening, Lucy, the Game Boy Black and White version, but whatever, I'll accept DX because this seems like a really cool project. It is just, I just download it from itch.io. Nintendo is going to come for this immediately, right?
I can hear Doug Bowser right now. I can hear the footsteps just growing. Like drums in the deep. Doug Bowser coming for you.
When he was rushing past us at Nintendo Live, he was just like going to walk to these people's house, and then now he's just going to arrive at their door this morning.
Yeah, it's like It Follows.
Yeah, it's truly terrifying, actually. And you can only pass on Doug Bowser if you pass on your indie game to the next person. I am gonna play this. I'm very excited about this. I love this game, and I really like the Switch remake, Lucy. That was like a very cool update. The visuals they grew on me very quickly. I thought they did a good job. But this is like, it's this Zelda game I played when I was 10 or 11 years old. So very formative, and I kind of want it to be the way I remember. And this, it really is just like that game blown up to be on a big screen. And I'm excited about these things in general because whenever the games get ported to PC, and this is what this is. This isn't like an emulated version of the game. It's the source code's been ported to PC. It always opens up the games to all kinds of different stuff, especially mods. And I'm not even sure like what mods this game would need, but it's always just fun to see that work being done because it ensures a certain level of preservation even beyond, we have the emulator and the mods working. It's like, no, it's just going to work on PC, a platform that's going to probably be around in some way forever. So I find that very reassuring as someone who loves this game.
Oh, wait, Lexi just said it's gone. They just tried to download it.
All right, hey, Lexi, I got a zip file.
Wait, is that true? Is that true?
I believe it.
I don't want to click on this. I don't want to do anything illegal.
Oh my God, you're going to jail.
It's not good. It's still is.
Okay, all right. It's working for others.
I'm not clicking on this link. I got a Game Boy Pocket because I never played Link's Awakening. I got a Game Boy Pocket from my friend Peter for my birthday, and he got me a copy of Link's Awakening.
Oh, so really? Does the battery still work? Because like because I have Link's Awakening, that I found my copy. And I tried playing. I'm like, I thought I had some saves on here, and I played it for a little bit. And I turned it off and turned it back on, and all the saves were gone because the battery had died inside of it.
I've had that happen before with like an old Pokemon game.
Yep.
Years ago, but now I'm all good. So yeah, this one I think it's like a service you do where they kind of upgrade it and make sure the batteries all work. Oh yeah,
totally. You can pop those open, put in fresh batteries. Yeah. Totally. Okay, very neat.
PS Plus and extra premium titles.
Yeah, hit me with the highlights. What's in there?
On extra, GTA 5.
Oh, okay, that's back on there because that's like in and out a couple of times. Yeah. So yeah.
Jan's favorite game, Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, MotoGP 23, Metal Hellsinger, Salt and Sacrifice, Moon Scars. I don't know why I said that like Chris Cornell, but you know.
Oh, sorry.
Mega Man 11, Gigabash, Grime, Tinykin, one of my favorite games of last year.
I like Tinykin.
Proteus, Shadowrun Returns, Dragonfall Hong Kong, and then in the premium tier, Mega Man Legacy Collection 1+2, Thrillville, Off the Rails, and Buzz Lightyear of Star Command.
Buzz Lightyear of Star Command is okay. It's not one of the better Toy Story games. Proteus is really good, though. People should go play Proteus. That's a game that has a lot of juice. Especially when you're in the shooting. It's a very juicy game. Oh, kiddo, don't punch the microphone. How you doing? Yes, I know. I gotta work. I'll be done soon. Valve to Steam Deck owners, stop huffing its vent fumes. This is from Zach Zweisen at Kotaku. Valve has a message to all you folks, myself included, who love huffing your Steam Deck exhaust fumes. Stop it, please. Have you ever taken a break from playing your Steam Deck to sample the complex fragrances emanating from its exhaust vent? If so, you aren't alone. Since the release of the handheld PC, many owners have reported that they can't stop sniffing the fumes that waft out of the Steam Deck during play. It's becoming a bit of a meme among Steam Deck owners, with folks often posting online how much they enjoy the distinctive aroma. I'm one of those sickos. This is from Zach. And I also am one of those sickos. That's from Jeff Grubb.
I'm also a sicko.
Yeah, it is. It's intoxicating and probably for a variety of terrible reasons. Carcinogenic reasons, almost certainly. But boy, it smells real good, Lucy James. What do we do about this?
Nothing. You know what?
You stop telling me how to live my life, Gabe.
Okay. Life is short, Gabe. We don't all live in New Zealand with our little knife collection. In the fresh air, okay? Some of us want to lick Switch cartridges and huff Steam Decks. Let us live.
Some of us need this, all right? Like, I need to get dopamine where I can find it, and if it's from just fully putting a nostril right on my Steam Deck and getting all those fumes right into my brain, so be it. That's just the way it has to be. I mean, it's probably dangerous. Actually, you know what? There's a note here. From Steam support, from Sandler at Steam support. Hello, thank you for contacting Steam support. As with all electronics, it is generally not recommended you inhale the exhaust fumes on your device. While there are no safety concerns with general usage, directly inhaling the device's vent fumes should be avoided. We understand that it may be a meme, but please refrain from this behavior for the safety of your health. This just feels like them covering their ass. I bet everyone at Valve also sniffs those fumes.
Like, as with all electronics, when has Valve ever done what everyone else has done?
That's right. Yes.
Wow.
Stand up from the crowd. Be bold. Be brave. I thought you were cool, Valve. I thought you got us. Clearly not. No. Starfield is going to get city maps and new ways of travel. This is from Nicole Carpenter at Polygon. I'm sure everyone's excited for this one. Bethesda Game Studios plans to update Starfield every 6 weeks or so in 2024, a studio representative posted on the game's Reddit forum. This comes after Bethesda addressed several issues in a patch on Monday, one of which fixes a bug that gave players ships a pet asteroid as space stuff was getting stuck to the ships. Several features
like a pet rock?
I don't. It doesn't sound like it was deliberate, but I think that's like people called it like a pet rock, pet asteroid, because the rocks kept getting stuck to their ships. I think is what it seems like. It's a fun game.
We've got Todd Howard in the chat saying, "Get ready."
Everyone, watch out! Todd's here. He's Ready to go, ready and raring to go this morning. Several features are coming to Starfield according to the Post. Mod support, which was announced in September, is one of those features, but players can expect city maps and all new ways of traveling too. Hey, maps are coming to Starfield finally. That was one that like everyone had issues with because you would I get like maybe not having maps for like the barren planets, but you could go to like a city planet, one that like was set out by the developers completely, a bespoke design. And you could easily get lost because there was no local map. So yeah, that seems like an oversight. I'm glad they're doing something about it, but for me, it is too little, too late when it comes to that sort of thing. I don't know how you feel.
I'm not going back. You can't make me.
Yeah.
Sorry, Todd.
Yeah,
there's a lot I missed from this year. I gave 10 hours to Starfield, and I loved the music. Don't get me wrong. There are some elements of it that I enjoyed. But it's too slow for me. My brain can't. I need flashing lights. I need explosions right now.
Yeah,
I'm at the stage of my life where I'm like, I'm not gonna push through something if I'm not immediately enjoying it.
Yeah, I think the place I landed was vaguely positive feelings. That's like vaguely positive. Yeah. There's a lot to complain about. If the game still had any of that Bethesda exploration magic of set down, the game tells you to go this way, you walk in the opposite direction and you find a bunch of fun things to do, that would be great. There's none of that really. Whether you're exploring on foot on a planet or exploring in the ship from solar system to solar system, none of that super works in terms of being the compelling part of Starfield. I eventually found some fun going on some of the side quests, stumbling on maybe some cool characters. I like moments of like, okay, I'm in orbit. I'm just going to start hailing some random ships. And the one ship over this planet was a lady who invited me over for dinner. And like that led to a little bit of a side quest. And it was like, okay. Yeah. Well, hey.
A little side quest.
A little side quest, if you know what I mean. A little side piece quest. And then, yeah, it's just, it needs so much more than just, hey, a local map and new ways to travel. I'm not worried about traveling. I just want reasons to travel. That's kind of what the game is missing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What do you need, Daddy? Yeah. Oh yeah, sure. Holler for me. Okay. She wanted help. She asks for help in case she has problems going potty. That's what she was asking for there. Aww. She's like, hey, I'm gonna go. I just want to let you know, and if I holler, will you be able to help? And I told her yes. So in a second, if she hollers for me, I will return quickly, everybody. Indiana Jones game. Oh yeah, go ahead. What was that?
Oh no, I'll hear. I'll hold the fort.
Thank you. You're gonna hold the fort, and I'll go handle the butt. Indiana Jones game is skipping PlayStation, and that is not overly exclusionary move, according to Disney. This is from Eddie McCoo at GameSpot. Disney's top gaming boss, Sean Shoptaw, has commented on why he believes Bethesda's upcoming Indiana Jones game being an exclusive to Xbox is not an overly exclusionary move. According to Axios, Microsoft asked Disney to renegotiate the terms of the game's business arrangement following Microsoft's buyout of Bethesda parent company ZeniMax. The report said that Microsoft sought a new deal to prevent the game from coming to PlayStation so it could be exclusive to Xbox on console and also have a PC release. Shoptaw said Xbox is one of the bigger marketplaces for games. As such, he said Disney didn't feel like we were going to be overly exclusionary. We felt like it's still going to reach a broad set of folks, and we felt financially and strategically for the game that made sense at the time, Shoptaw said. Indiana Jones is in development at Wolfenstein Studio Machine Games, and Todd Howard is an executive producer on the project. Shoptaw discussed Bethesda's pitch, saying they pitched us a really compelling vision for Indy, and that resonated. Yeah, I mean, this is just still the reality. Now, I think it is more common for games to be, especially when they deal with big third-party or big IP, to be more exclusive to PlayStation than Xbox. Xbox is always pretty hesitant about these sorts of things after the Tomb Raider deal never really worked out in their favor. But you know, the industry is driven by exclusives, so this doesn't feel weird. I think most people were expecting this, right?
Yeah, I think so. After the ZeniMax deal, for sure. I'm at the point now. I'm like, I just want to see what Machine Games is working on, because if they're not going to give me Wolfenstein 3.
Yeah, I'm
and I'm not a big Indiana Jones person.
Right, you're a young person with reasonable taste. Like you don't care. That's this. You're hardly the first.
I
this
grew
is what
up in
happens.
the 90s. It's like, yeah, it's like there's only one Matrix movie. There's only 3 Indiana Jones movies.
Yeah. Yep. Yes, fair. Indiana Jones just doesn't have the cultural appeal that I thought it did when I was growing up with it. And then I get to this point, it's like, no, most kids aren't like, oh, yeah, of course I watched Indiana Jones as a kid now. And I think for Gen Z, like Indiana Jones doesn't really play at all. I think that new movie is kind of evidence of that. But hey, that doesn't mean that the game can't be great and that this game can't have a certain amount of appeal. I do think this might be a little bit of a test, though, for Xbox to see if going out and paying the money to get a big character to be exclusive to Xbox will be worth it. I don't know. Do you think it will probably have to be a pretty significant success for them to view it as a positive experience, right?
I think so too, but also, I mean, it depends on what their metrics of success are going to look like for a licensed game. Probably higher, maybe a little bit more scrutiny on it. I mean, machine games, Wolfenstein is always incredible, but it's never necessarily sold gangbusters. Like it's sold,
like
but
it
not,
should. Yeah,
like it should, because those games are incredible.
Yes, they are.
That team's very talented. So I'm just intrigued by it. It's also, we are reaching the point with certainly Disney where we're reaching oversaturation. We are beyond oversaturation with Disney properties and licensed properties right now. As you can see with kind of the reaction to every MCU project, every Disney Plus show. And so really the only, and the reaction to the latest Indiana Jones movie, those things are bloated, expensive. They don't recoup their costs as much as Disney would like. However, people like audiences are bored. However, you take a look at the reaction to Arcane's Blade, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Marvel's Wolverine. If you can like capture the audience's attention for something completely different, something that's not going to require homework to go in to watch. Like I don't want to have to watch 5 different movies to understand the Marvels or Eternals or whoever, right? So it'll be interesting to see if that is the same for Indiana Jones.
Yeah, and I think you definitely identified what's been happening for publishers and deciding to go out and get these IPs. They are like looking at the reality on the ground of building up a new IP. And Arcane's a good example. Like, I think that they will have an easier time getting attention if the game is good with Blade than they did with Deathloop. Deathloop was an uphill climb of getting people to care about that. They had multiple trailer reveals, and people were sort of like,
Deathloop was sick.
Yes, I love Deathloop, but I think that it was like, hey, it was a fight. I mean, like during the time, it was like, hey, here's another trailer, and people were like, haven't we seen this before? We don't care. And it's like, oh, okay. And so having something established that people know they already care about, like Blade. That's the reason that these companies are now turning to these established IPs in a way that they had not been for a while. Yes, it's expensive to go out and get these IPs. It really is. But they are weighing that against the cost of turning a new IP into something that matters, which would require maybe a significantly larger marketing budget and one that they might not be able to share with an outside firm like Disney. And Disney would care about the game doing well. So they'd be like, they can work that out and maybe make the marketing make more sense. So we are going to continue to see these licensed games, even though, like you said, like the a lot of the movies and the shows are bloated and not doing very well. In gaming, they're like, yeah, we don't really care. This is a safer bet than trying something new. So after Hogwarts Legacy, now with these games, with Spider-Man and Wolverine coming, we're going to get a lot more licensed games going forward. That is going to be the norm. All right, here. Final story. PhD student tries to get Doom running on cells, on human cells. Just
interlinked.
Yes, cells interlinked. This is from Andrew Heaton at Destructoid. Well, it's been about 100th of a femtosecond. Let's see what people are trying to port Doom onto. Hang on, my kids. I gotta go help you. Hold down the fort.
I have no idea what a femtosecond is. Oh no, can I not hear anything?
What's going on in here? Is everyone all right?
Can you hear me?
Lucy's cutting out. Lucy's.
Oh no.
Oh,
Am I back?
I think you're back.
Am I back? I don't know.
How's everyone
I'll
feeling
put it
today?
on my phone. Help.
Tam.
Audio cut out too. Oh no.
No, we hear you.
Hello.
Oh. Hey,
Oh.
Luce. Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't hear you until there. Hello. Help me. I can't hear you.
Lucy's being digitized. This is how you play Doom on human cells. Lucy? Lucy James, count to 12.
The thing is that Jan, help me.
I know what you're doing.
1, 8, 9. Can you hear me or not?
Now I can hear you.
I can hear you now.
Oh,
really
there we
hear you.
go.
Lucy, I
well.
hear you did a really good job. Uh-oh.
My internet cut out.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
I'm Lucy James.
We have 3 Lucy James to replace the one we normally have. That's what it takes to replace Lucy
Yeah.
James.
yes.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay. Bye.
Thanks,
Aw.
guys. Appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, someone's trying to get Doom running on cells. They basically not really actually running on cells. What they're doing is they are treating E. coli cells as if they are pixels in a monitor, and they're getting them to change color on command. And so it's displaying Doom, which is actually running on, I don't know, something else, probably still a PC. But the idea of E. coli cells connected to a PC sounds like the start of a Dustin Hoffman outbreak movie. So I can't wait for us all to catch Doom the disease. That sounds like a pretty good time and inevitable, and that's where we're all going to end up here pretty soon. When will science learn that there should be limits to what we're capable of, Lucy?
No, I feel like we've had this conversation many times over the years, and I just don't think they will.
Yeah, they won't.
Also, hang on. Am I back now? Like, literally, as soon as you get back, I get back. My internet comes back in.
Yeah, it's definitely back and better than like what it was when I first arrived, and it was you were roboting. There's a little bit of delay and stuff like that, but we're making it work. We're fine.
So what you're saying is that I did such a good job on the intro that you sabotaged it so that I couldn't take over while you.
I can't allow it. I need this job, Lucy. What are you doing to me? All right. There's a poll question from earlier this week. We'll get to that in a second. But before we do, Lucy, what do you got going on? What do you have going on the site? Things like that. So there's a new Jeff happening, right? You guys recorded that?
Yeah, we did. We recorded that. That's going up today with one of the best episodes of Cowboy Bebop and one of the worst episodes of Cowboy Bebop. So please be excited. It's actually kind of like a very chill episode where we just hang out and have a lot of bands, and so it's a bit of a longer episode.
Oh, fun.
I worked on a couple of videos, so obviously we need to put coverage up for over Christmas. So I worked on best open world shooters, which is coming out. I wrote that one yesterday. I'm writing a couple of other ones.
It's Avatar #1.
Upcoming open world shooters. So I'm afraid Avatar did not count this time. But you know, got stuff like Pal World is in there. You know, which Pal World looks messed
Pal
up.
World
I'm very
looks
excited for
wild.
that.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, Hound of Texas says there were new Windows updates and new NVIDIA drivers yesterday, so maybe that's killing your PCs. Genuinely, my PC updated yesterday, and it was a little bit touch and go.
Right, my
so maybe
Edge broke for me, and that's got to be an Edge thing. That's happened to me more.
You got
more.
edged?
I got edged by Microsoft. Yes, once again. Hey, normally you have to pay extra for that, but now it just comes with Windows. All right, the poll question from earlier this week: were you happy with the Game Awards? 56% said no. 44% said yes. That seemed, I bet this is like the zone that the Game Awards is normally going to be in. I think ideally you want to maybe flip that number and have like 55% be happy with the Game Awards, and then 45 be like, oh, I wish there were more awards. And really, truthfully, they were actually thrilled with all the new game announcements and stuff like that. I do wonder how much of the 56% that weren't happy, are they not happy because the awards didn't get enough time, that the people didn't get time to speak, or their favorite game wasn't in the awards, right? You can't really distinguish between those two things. How are you feeling as we get a little bit more time away from the Game Awards about the show, about the way Keeley's been positioning it? and all of that good stuff.
So, the audience, and I think as well, there's kind of different things that you can judge it on. I think as a spectacle, pure spectacle, it was fun. It was the best, tightest show that they've done.
Agreed.
Everything flowed really nicely into each other. I think the musical performances were great. I think I just think that part of it worked. I think in terms of trailers too, I don't think there was a single trailer really, except for that. There was a couple of ones in the breaks where I was like, oh, okay, maybe we don't.
Right, the very, very commercial ones, yeah.
The very, very commercial ones. However, awards fell by the wayside, incredibly disrespectful for the 30-second thing. Like, being in the audience, we were sat in front of the Cyberpunk team. We were sat, like, among all the devs, and you could just see everyone, as soon as the music started, everyone just groaned. And it was super sad, and it sucked. And I know that Jeff is aware of that. He has tweeted about it.
Oh, yeah.
He'll be reaching out to people for sure. And I just think as well, to, like, I can't even imagine putting the show together. The amount of stakeholders you have to appease, you have, and at the end of it, the day, you're wanting to put on a show, the pressure of making it bigger and better every year, it's going to be ridiculous. So I think really tough one, good show, needs to be better overall. I did wonder if he was just referring to he kept calling it TGAs.
Yeah.
Which I picked up on that very, very early.
People pointed that out, and I didn't think about it much. I heard him say TGAs a lot.
TGAs.
Do you think he's doing I don't know if this is apocryphal, the KFC thing, where it's like, oh, they call it KFC because they don't want to refer to the chicken because maybe they don't want to just be, maybe it's not real chicken or whatever. That was the story. That's definitely not what they were doing. But, KFC doesn't have the word chicken in it anymore. The game, well,
I think, so we had that, we talked about that on Friends Per Second last week, and apparently it's because Kentucky sued.
Oh, really?
The state of Kentucky.
Yeah.
But it is a very similar thing where if you can brand it as something different, where it does still, ties in. But that's speculation for sure on my part.
Oh, yeah. But maybe there's something to that. Yeah, it's hard to know for sure. And, in the very least, the evidence is before our eyes about what matters at the TGAs. It's obviously the trailers. We get that. Everyone understands what this really is. That doesn't mean it can't be a little bit better here and there. So, yeah.
But that's the thing. It's like you have to balance the new releases, which get... Oh, am I out again? Jesus, my internet's been
You're
so
okay
bad.
now.
Like the last week, fucking grow up, whoever I'm with.
Is it Comcast?
Who am I?
Xfinity?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am with Xfinity. So no, it's like the trailers get the eyes in and then you want to divert those eyes onto the devs, right?
Yes. Give them some shine. Give them some love. Yeah.
Yeah. Give them some shine. But like, if you are wanting that true Oscars of the games industry stuff that's all about awards, there's the DICE Awards,
yes.
There's GDC, BAFTA, especially, like, as someone who's been to multiple BAFTAs, like, that is a black tie event, and everyone is dressed up, like, there's no distractions, no one's on their phone, no one's waiting for a new whoever. I did go the Golden Joysticks. That was more of a mix of kind of more TGA-ish. But yeah, it was, I don't know. I feel for Jeff, truly, and the team, because you're never going to please everyone, especially when the show is now this big.
Yep.
This big.
Yep. I think the answer, probably 10 more minutes. We're already there for 3.5 hours. Let's do a couple more minutes and give all of that time to the people winning the awards. And the other thing is, and we mentioned this on Bombcast yesterday, this is my big thing. If you're going to have celebrities on the stage, put him with a game developer. No more just Anthony Mackie up there by himself. Anthony Mackie, and then someone who made one of the nominated games, so that it at least feels somewhat reasonable that the game industry is being represented up there. No more just Hollywood celebrities by themselves. I can't take that anymore, actually.
I'm sorry, Simulu. I don't care how much gaming you do.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't actually break your other ankle, actually. That's how I feel about it.
He was there for Stormgate. Why not have Chris Metzen go up? I mean, I know Chris Metzen's back at Blizzard now, but it's like, he's there for Stormgate. Pair him with the dev from Stormgate.
Pair him with the dev. Yes. Just pair them with the dev. And that's like, for me, that's like half the battle won right there. Yeah. If you do that, we are on such a better track than what it feels like right now. All right, new poll question that we'll get to tomorrow on the show. Will you double dip to play GTA 6 on console and then on PC? Yes or no? I'm going to vote yes, because that's what I'm doing. I will be interested to see how much of our audience is like, well, no, I'm very happy with console. And maybe our audience is the kind that's like us, Lucy. But of course, I'm going to do that. We'll talk about that tomorrow on Game Mess Mornings here on Giant Bomb. Speaking of Giant Bomb, later today, 2:30 p.m. Eastern, about 2.5 hours from now, if you're watching live, Blight Club will be happening. I will be getting back into Ride to Hell Retribution. There it is. I still have it right here with me. Unfortunately, I haven't found a way to get rid of the game. It's cursed. Hopefully, I'll make some real progress today, because I do not want to be playing this game anymore. It's really bad, Lucy. I don't know if you know this.
You know, I did know it, and I don't want to play it. So
Don't
I
play
shalln't.
Save yourself. Although all of the lovemaking scenes are incredible. They're all fully clothed, and you can't miss them. It's the best thing in video games. It's not quite fucking the bear in Baldur's Gate 3. Lucy, we got anything else that we should mention happening this week? I guess UPF will be Lethal Company. We'll have a voicemail dump truck, all that good stuff. But anything else we should mention?
No, I think that's it.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Lucy, thank you so much for spending today talking with me about video games. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Oh, it's weird not all being in person anymore.
I know, that was such a good time. It was great. Like, just hanging out, making stuff, being like, oh, I'm going to go downstairs and just see you sitting at the couch with all the Remedy people, being like, oh yeah, look at that. Them just hanging out, being cool people.
Just hanging out.
Just hanging out. We'll make it happen again frequently, everybody. Look out for that. Until next time, though, thank you for watching. You're the best audience in gaming. Take care of yourself, and goodbye. Okay, still hot mic'd. Let's raid somebody. Yeah, we should probably head east again. That's right, Jan. That would be very fun. We'll see about that. Okay.
East.
Yeah, maybe go